Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7. I thought we'd unbox it, set it up, and talk about what's new. Now this comes in at $1,099 for 256 gigabytes, or $1,219 for 512 gigabytes. It comes in 4 different colors: blue shadow, jet black, coral red, and mint. So let's go ahead and unbox this, and as you can see it was already opened. However, I didn't open this myself. I received it this way, so let's go ahead and open it up here and take a closer look. So you can see here's the blue shadow color. Let's see what's in the box here. So it looks like we've got a SIM card, and then if we open it up here, I would expect basically the same thing we had in the Z Fold 7. We've got a SIM card ejector tool, as well as probably some paperwork. Got that here, or we actually have a USB-C to USB-C cable that you can see here. And then also, let's see what we've got. Looks like a quick start guide. You can see the SIM card that you can eject, and that's about it. Looks like we don't really have anything else in here. Let me set this aside. And of course, here we have the phone in the box. So let's go ahead and take this out. We'll flip it over. It looks like we've got a plastic cover here. Let's go ahead and remove that. And we have some nice updates as far as the overall displays and more. So let me close the box up here. Now when it comes to the design, it's pretty standard. So basically we have armor aluminum on the outside here. However, that doesn't include the volume buttons or the actual side keys, SIM card tray, or camera lens barrels. However, it does have armor aluminum around the outside edge, and we have a stronger new flex hinge. So this is redesigned, it's thinner and more durable, and should hold up a little bit better. I never had a problem with one, but it should be even better. So you can see on the side here, we've got our volume buttons. It looks like we've got a microphone here, power sleep wake, that can also function as a fingerprint reader. And then on the bottom, of course, we've got USB-C. We've got another speaker, a couple microphones. Then on the left-hand side, it looks like we have a millimeter wave antenna. We have a SIM card tray. And then on the top here, we've got a couple additional microphones. The SIM card tray only holds one SIM, so there's no expandable storage or anything like that. And as far as the overall glass on it, because we have glass on the back, of course, once it's closed like this, back and front, we have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Now it comes in at just 188 grams or 6.63 ounces. The cover display has been updated as well, so let's boot that up so we can take a look. Of course, we'll get everything set up. We'll press and hold the power sleep wake button here. So give it a second to boot up. There you'll see it takes just a moment here, and you'll see it on the back side here as it's booting up, or on the cover screen. It says powered by Android. We should have Android 16 with One UI 8. And there we go. So there's the main setup screen. We'll set that up in a moment, but you can see the larger display here. And the large display, or the main display, is 6.9 inches at 2520 by 1080. It's 120 hertz and goes up to 2600 nits. So we've got pretty great brightness. Then on the cover display here, if we close it, let's see if we can turn it on here on the side, you'll see it's the entire display. So this looks really great, I think, with the stock wallpaper. You can see what it looks like. And basically this is a 4.1 inch display at 1048 by 948, 120 hertz again, even on the cover display, and 2600 nits as well. Now, when it comes to the CPU, we have something a little bit different. They've shrunk it down with the latest 3nm CPU, but it's using an Exynos 2500. However, Samsung claims it's 9% faster, 23% smoother graphics, 22% quicker AI, and both configurations come in 12 gigabytes of RAM. Now, when it comes to the cameras, of course, we'll take a closer look at those in a moment, but the cameras themselves, we have a 50 megapixel f1.8 with 2x optical zoom here. We also have a 12 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide and a 10 megapixel camera inside that is f2.2. So all really nice. They can record in 10-bit HDR by default for video. And then when it comes to the battery, we have a 4300 milliamp hour battery, up 300 milliamp hours from the previous year, good for 31 hours of video playback. Now that's compared to the 24 hours in the Z Fold. So that should be pretty good, but we do only have 25 watt fast charging. So it's okay, but it's not the fastest out there as far as that goes. When it comes to connectivity, we have 5G, Wi-Fi 7, and Bluetooth 5.4, and then an IP48 rating with 5 feet of fresh water for up to 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and get this set up. We'll set it up pretty simply here, probably with another Android phone. So we'll hit start, and then we have to review and agree to a couple things before we can continue. We'll hit more, hit agree, and now it says easy setup with another device. We can set up with Galaxy or Android device, iPhone or iPad, or set it up manually. So now it's connected from device to device. I verified my passcode on the device, and it's checking info so it can move everything over. So we'll give it just a moment here to get set up so we can continue and take a look at what's new. Now it says copy data from your Android device. You can choose to copy apps or photos. We'll tap don't copy, but we will set up the fingerprint sensor. So we'll go ahead and put in the screen pin here, and we'll set up the fingerprint sensor. We'll go ahead and register here, and you'll see on the side, this is where it is here. So let's register, and then we'll get this set up just like we normally would. It's a little bit tricky. I have found on the Z Fold7 that it's actually a little bit tricky because it's so small. You just have to be very intentional and push down a little bit. But we do have face unlock as well. So there we go. We'll get that finished up here. Now that it's finished, we'll go ahead and tap next, and it says test your fingerprint, and it works just fine. So we'll go ahead and tap done. That's ready to go. Of course, we can add more fingerprints later, but we'll go ahead and tap continue. Now it's connected to my Google account. Of course, we can use Gemini. We'll talk more about that in a moment. We'll tap continue, and we can use hands-free with Google with the word hey in front of it. We'll turn that on since I like to use that, and it says getting your phone ready. Now it's showing all of the Galaxy AI features that are built in with call assist, writing assist, interpreter, and we have all of the things you would expect with a few additional things as well on this phone. We have the option for Bixby, I'll skip that for now, and then we have Samsung services such as personal data intelligence, customization service, and auto blocker. We'll tap agree and continue here. And then we can choose light or dark mode. Whatever works best for you, you can select. And now it says taking care of your phone. Now, similar to the Z Fold7, it says this phone isn't dust resistant. Exposure to small particles such as sand may cause damage. However, the phone is water resistant. Immersion in any liquid other than fresh water, such as salt water or alcohol, can damage your phone. So you don't want to remove the screen cover as well. We'll tap next, and it says you're all set up. So we'll go ahead and tap home. You can see the stock wallpaper here, which I have set on the Z Fold as well. It's all set and ready to go. So what we have here, of course, is weather. We'll get that set up for where we are locally. We have to agree, and we'll just change to precise location. Give it just a moment here. And there we go. So at the Samsung event, Samsung Unpacked, and you can see that we have this updated weather app. We'll go home. And we now have the Now Brief, but we don't have it just here. We also have it on the cover display. So we'll start, and then we can customize this as well. So if we go into settings, you'll see some additional options. So we've got moments, we have YouTube, and parking spot reminders or traffic updates. So that's always nice to see. We'll tap OK and go home. So if we go ahead and close this on the main display here, let's go ahead and turn it on. We can unlock it, so it's unlocked, and then we have the option to slide over to the side. Now we do have the Now Brief. We may have to update this a little bit, but let's go ahead and check the version number and come back to that. So we'll go into our settings. We'll go here, then we'll go down to Software Update and see what we have. So we'll give it just a second. It's connecting to the server and see what it comes up with if we have an update. It says it's up to date, Android version 16, One UI 8, and it's got the security patch from June 1st. If we go back here, we can take a little bit closer look at things such as the display. So let's go into that here. Under display, we've got adaptive brightness. We'll just turn it up for the video here. We also have motion smoothness, 120 Hertz on both this display and the cover display. So we have adaptive, which is always nice. And then if we go maybe to, we'll scroll down here, we've got vivid, of course. We'll change the timeout just for this video. And then also you've got all of the other options you would expect as well. So all of those, dark mode settings, extra brightness even, adaptive color tone, eye shield care, and everything you would expect. So pretty much normal as far as what we have. I prefer gestures, so we'll switch back to that, hit OK. And now we've got gestures on here as well. So I'm going to let this update for a bit since we have quite a few updates. We'll give it just a moment to make sure we have all of the latest things here, and then we'll continue. So now everything's installed and downloaded, so we should be good to go. And if we go into our wallpaper here, we've got some customizations. So similar wallpaper that you would expect. So folding wallpaper. If we go in here, you can see the different options if we go into variations. So depending on which color you select, maybe the mint color, these are the different options that are default. We also have some customization options for maybe AI created or graphical or colors or even a wallpaper service. We have enhanced auto-curated wallpaper this time around, and we even have clock fonts that can fit around what's on the frame, maybe on your cover display. So depending on what you have set, you can fully customize it. The other thing is we can go here, and I wanted to show you some of the default installed apps. So we have things such as Facebook. If you press and hold, you can uninstall that if you'd like. And these are everything that was installed by default. So Google, some things haven't fully finished installing, but all of the core apps have. You'll see Microsoft, Samsung as well, and then everything else here. Now, if we slide home, maybe we'll close the cover display. And of course, you can see if we unlock it, it looks like you would expect. Press and hold, and then we can go through our different customizations here. Maybe we have different options we select. Whatever you'd like to use is available. So all of those, and it says open the screen for more customizations. So let's go ahead and let's open it up here. And it says add new. We can go into our widgets, add some widgets with now brief and more, everything you would expect with customizations. And if we go back, you can see maybe we'll manage this one. How about maybe this one? And then of course we can change everything just like you would expect. So maybe you want to bring this, make this larger, maybe change the font, the style, whatever works for you, fully customizable. You could show the weather and of course change that to whatever you'd like. Now, if we go ahead and hit done, one of my favorite things that we have is Gemini Live built right into the cover display. Press and hold, and now we have Gemini Live. So you can see this here, and we can use the camera as well. So if we turn on the camera, you'll see the camera overhead recording this video. You'll see myself here. And then, of course, you could ask questions as well. So you could set this up, turn it around, and actually talk to it while maybe you're filming and get more information. Or you can use it from inside. So I want to use it like this, and you'll see Gemini Live, flip the camera around, and now you can see what I'm doing. So we can ask questions, just use Gemini like you normally would, and you can see all of the things that I was talking about earlier. But you get the idea where you can fully utilize Gemini built right into it, and it's something I really appreciate. Something else we get that's never been on the Flip before is the ability to use Dex for the first time. So that's built in. You can use Dex with this. And also, let's turn that back on. Also with this, of course, if we go into the camera, we have HDR turned on by default. And we'll just turn on these options and get out of here. We have your typical options you would expect, but when we go into video, we can use 10-bit HDR. You'll see it's enabled by default. Of course, you can turn that off if you don't want to use it, but you do have the option for it. We have 4K 60, of course, if we go in here. So we have UHD, 60 frames per second, if you'd like to use that also. So lots of great options. And then, of course, you can use it as a video camera like you could in previous generations, just like this, and it works well. We also have a lot of different built-in AI updates. I talked about some with the Z Fold7 as well, but basically most of those are here, circle to search and everything else. So you're not really compromising with this device. It's just a different form factor. Now, as far as the display goes with PWM, typically they're pretty good, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. So at 240 frames per second, I can't detect any PWM on the main display. So that's a good sign, meaning that it's probably fast enough that it shouldn't bother most people's eyes. As far as the cover display, let's take a look at that. Now, the cover display, it's definitely noticeable compared to what we had on the main display. But if you're using the cover display sparingly, it won't be an issue. But if you are super sensitive to PWM and you wanted to use the cover display regularly, then it may be an issue. However, I think most people would just use the main display, and that should be pretty decent as far as not really causing eye strain and problems for most people. So I really like this overall phone. Some people love to carry them around, just fold it around for compactness, and I like how it goes around the camera itself. I think that's kind of a nice look that you don't see elsewhere, where it just surrounds everything else. So let me know if there's anything else specifically you'd like to know about the Z Flip 7. Of course, I'll Maybe do a full review on that if you'd like to see that, or maybe compared to something else. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description like I normally do, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.